Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now, today's first story comes from the Am I the Arsehole Here subreddit from EvenPhone1313 and says, Am I the arsehole for giving my ex-fiancee a fake engagement ring? It was an honest-to-God marriage proposal. I very much wanted to marry her. She is just a klutz and I didn't trust her with a real thing. I took her to Coachella for the second weekend and to propose. It was a great time and she got to see No Doubt, who she loves, because her dad used to listen to her when she was a baby. Anyway, I asked her to marry me and she said yes. She loved the ring. I had it sized, but it was the brass and moissanite copy I had made so she wouldn't lose or damage the real one at the concert, which she promptly did, and then she pretended not to. She said it was too tight and that she had to put it away until we got back to Phoenix. When we got back, she asked me where I got the ring. I told her and she tried to replace it, until they told her how much it cost. She came to my place crying to tell me she lost the ring and to beg my forgiveness. I told her right away that it was no big deal because I had the real one with me and we could go get it sized perfectly so she wouldn't lose it. My mistake because she effing lost it. She went off on me for making her not enjoy the weekend because she was worried sick that she had lost her ring. If she had told me she lost it, I would have told her the truth, that I didn't want to take any chances with her ring at that massive venue. She screamed at me that I was a complete arsehole to make her worry like that. She said a lot of stuff that I guess had been building for a while, and she said things she could not take back. I told her to get out. She asked for her real ring. I said nope. I'm not marrying someone who thinks this is the way to behave towards me. I told her she had to leave or I'd get the security guys to get her out. She's only signed in as a guest, so it's not a big deal for me to get her out. I feel like I dodged a bullet, but also kind of bad that I didn't tell her at the concert that it was fake so she wouldn't worry. My parents are wondering why we broke up and I don't really know what to say. And we're starting the comments with Winton in, who says, lol, I like how after she did all that she asked you for the real ring, not the arsehole. OP responds saying, I was just pissed. I don't even know, says my dude, that's like a nuclear missile dodged. She lost the ring, lied about it, tried to double down on the lie by trying to replace it, then blamed you for her lies before running her stupid mouth. Then she asked for the real thing. She's 10 gallons of crazy in a 1-gallon bucket. The only ring she needs is a Nuva ring. My Cabbages says, was her plan to buy another exact copy of the engagement ring and never tell you? As in potentially spend thousands of dollars rather than admit to poor judgment and irresponsibility to her spouse? Opie says she went to a local jeweler with a picture and the information I gave her about the stone. It would have been difficult to get a copy since I got it in Canada. My Kinda Crazy says not the arsehole for a fake engagement ring, but why wouldn't you tell her it was a stand-in ring? Have a stand-in ring and would be equally as upset if I lost it. It's cheap, but it's still important to me. Thorn Forever says this, and while I think a bullet was dodged, I think this event could have been avoided if they could have had an adult conversation about her only using the stand-in ring while she was away. I can understand her frustration and worry thinking she had lost the actual ring. If she was absolutely unwilling to compromise, that would have been the red flag. Opie says, may I ask why? It's basically brass and glass. Mine, not yours. I can understand why you might not care about yours, but I know her, and I know it was destined for the back of my condiments drawer after she got the real thing. And one more comment from Trin, who says not the arsehole. I'm reminded of a story I read as a kid. A woman has a friend who has really expensive jewelry who she thinks is rich. She asks her friend if she can borrow a piece for an important event. Friend says yes and loans a stunning diamond necklace. Woman loses it and is absolutely frantic. She and her husband buy a replacement and are destitute afterwards. Woman cuts contact with friend. Eventually they meet again and friend is concerned about her. Why did you disappear? Did I do something to offend you? No, I just had to sell all my belongings to replace your beautiful diamond necklace that you loaned me. I lost it after my event and didn't have the heart or courage to tell you. Oh my, that necklace was costume jewelry and made of paste. The moral of the story is that things aren't always what they seem. Woman thought her friend was rich, found out she wasn't, and ended up ruining herself trying to keep up appearances. Yeah, and I pretty much agree with the comments on this one. It's like, I can understand the panic, I can understand the worry, etc., but not saying anything that you lost it and then trying to look for it, etc., etc. Blaming you, calling you names, which it sounds like they were horrific the way everything turned out in the end. But like some of the comments as well, it had me also thinking, like, why not just say something after you proposed? I think it's a sensible thing to do, to maybe not even have a ring or have some sort of stand-in ring at that moment because you're at a festival. I'm picturing in my head at the moment something like Glastonbury where there's loads of mud, there's loads of chaos going on. I've never actually been myself, I've only seen videos and photos and it always looks like chaos. So there's the potential to lose something very important to you. This is going to sound very boring, but I like watching those videos where they go around cleaning up afterwards. I know the absolute mess after festivals is not acceptable, etc., etc., but the stuff that they find after festivals where they look around and things, it's madness. So if someone proposed to me and they said, look, this is just a stand-in ring, or I don't even have the ring with me at the moment because, we're in this scenario, so it's probably not a good idea. I'll say, yeah, absolutely, it's probably not a good idea at this moment in time. So the lack of communication, like that one comment said as well, did stand out to me. But OP comes in with her update and says, it was a test and apparently I failed. She didn't lose the ring. She took it to get appraised and found out it was fake. I guess her plan was to get me to apologize, then rush out and replace it. When I told her I had the real ring safe and ready to go, she freaked out. I've spoken with friends and they all agree that the people saying that she should not have picked the place she loves at an event she loves and that we could return to every year on the anniversary of the proposal are idiots. I showed them the post and they agree that there's a market for a safe room for people who are afraid to propose anywhere meaningful could do so. I'm still happy that I found out how mercurial she could be before entering into a lifelong commitment. There is nothing else to update. Thanks for the advice and alternative views on my situation. Top 2 comments on this one says, nah, that seems shady. That she's now saying it was a test. I'm not buying it. And another comment says, did she produce the ring as proof? If not, I don't buy it. Even if it was a test, tests never work out in these stories. We've seen it time and time again. Holy moly. I did have a little chuckle to myself though as I read that, and they said like, you proposed there as a place that they could return to on their sort of engagement day time and time again, Beautiful scenario. I think it's absolutely wonderful, and I'm sure many people do this. Probably even in this exact scenario, there's people that actually do this, go to the same music festival, etc. Again, in my mind, I'm thinking sort of Glastonbury, like these muddy scenarios. And I'm just thinking years down the road, this festival's still going, this 80-year-old couple, they've turned up to this muddy festival and like to reminisce about their engagement day. I don't know why that makes me chuckle, but it's kind of funny for me. But now I want to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. Now, our next story is coming from our very own subreddit r/Mark Narrations. As always, feel free to get involved if you choose to do so. This one's from Obligation Kind 2303. It does have an update as well. It says, I, 26 female, crushed my mother's 55 female heart. How can I fix this? Hello. This just happened, and so I'm so sorry if I ramble. Also, English is not my first language. I rent a house with my mother since December. The house doesn't have an AC or any fan, so now that it's hot where I live, she's been having an awful time sleeping. For Mother's Day, I helped her pay a flight to the beach with her friends. When she returned, she needed help with Uber. So I paid it for her, and now I helped her pay for half of the price of an air conditioner. In total, around 405 US. I'm not rich by any means, so this amount is pretty high for me, but I wanted to give it to her regardless. Now that it's Mother's Day, she requested me a cheap cake that she likes. But since I really wanted to spoil her, I bought her another cake that she loves, but is double the price. Again, I have no issue paying this since she does a lot for me. When she came home, I guessed I expected her to be really happy with the cake. but instead she started complaining that she wanted the other one. The one I bought is really expensive, and if I wanted to spend that amount of money, she would have preferred me to give it to her and buy another thing. This really pissed me off because in a very short amount of time, I gave her a lot and now wanted more money because of a cake. At the time, I didn't say anything but was obviously angry. She pressed on the issue. We started fighting and I ended up saying, "If you're going to act like that, I won't buy you anything ever. I'm done giving you money." For some small context, whenever she needs something, I always try to crunch up numbers, and most of the time I give her the money she needs. So this instance really made me angry. We argued some more, and she told me she didn't need anything from me, since she has always dealt with life alone, and I told her to give me what I gave her for the air conditioner then. At this point, we're both crying. She says that she never expected me to ever tell her that I won't give her anything again, and that I need to take responsibility for what I said. She gave me the money in cash, and now I feel horrible. This was supposed to be a happy day, one to celebrate and spoil her, and now I messed everything up. I don't even know what to say to her. Please, what do I do? Now, as always, I think it's very easy for me to say this sort of stuff. Sat behind a microphone, I'm reading a very small portion of your life, dealing with your mother, and I can say this stuff easily because I'm outside of that familial relationship. But it's a very different experience when you're dealing with it firsthand. You know, your mother, someone that you've grown up your whole life with, certain behaviors, etc., have been normalized, etc., etc. I know it, but I have to say it. To me, I think your mum just comes across as really ungrateful. Yes, you could have bought her the cheap cake, but you wanted to get her something that you say that she absolutely loves, and it's double the price. You know, it's your gift to her. I'm a huge fan of Bakewell tarts, and you know, if anyone wanted to buy me Bakewell tarts, I'd be like, hell yeah. But if they instead bought me a Biscoff cheesecake, I would be over the moon with that. But instead, you had it thrown back in your face, and that would piss me off as well. I think it's one of those situations you really need to take a step back and look at the bigger relationship here and how much this kind of stuff does happen, because it seems like you're contributing a fair amount of money towards her living. Where is she not budgeting anything for this at all? The fact that when she came back from a flight to the beach with her friend and she immediately called you for an Uber, was she not spending any money while she was at the beach? Did she spend all of her money while she was at the beach? That particular part to me just felt like she's just calling you because she knows that you'll give her the money, basically, which is no way to treat your child. Soft Shoulder says, you should have bought the cheaper cake your mum wanted. She should stop looking a gift horse in the mouth. You should also stop giving your mother so much money. Your mum needs to budget. You pay rent. If you ever move out, you will need the savings and your mum will have to live without the extra money you provide. I know it's just a cake, but if my kid had bought me an AC unit, I wouldn't ask for a cake. You can apologize for how you handled it, but not the boundary. Wonky Doodle Poodle replies to that saying, I'm in agreement here. Set up a budget and set boundaries, but also when it's a special occasion for someone, please buy what they requested if it's affordable for you. Opie replies saying, thank you for this. Yeah, from now on, I learned my lesson. No more surprises. I just give what the person requests, if I want and can afford it. Opie then comes in with a small update in the comments and says a bit of a sad update. I went to spend the night with my aunt. We talked and I decided to cool off and go apologize in the morning. The whole time my aunt told my mother where I was. Now the next morning she kicked me out of the house. She threw some of my clothes at me and changed the locks. She refuses to listen and believes everyone is against her. She wouldn't even let me talk. At this point I'm just tired. I feel numb and don't have the energy to try and get back to the house that is in my name. I think I'll look up to be roommates with a co-worker. I'll let this day pass first. Thank you to everyone that commented. You really helped me realize that I need to be more assertive. Hope that whatever anyone is passing through can get resolved. Mother of 5 replies to that one saying she can't kick you out of the house if it's in your name. That's illegal. Sorry to say this, but she sounds entitled, toxic, and controlling. Contact a lawyer, make a police report, get family informed before she gets a chance to paint you as the villain. I'm sorry that your mother didn't appreciate you all you did for her. Hugs. Opie says thank you, yes. I'll find a way to get my stuff and solve the issue with the lease. I just want to rest for 1 or 2 days. Also, my family is being really supportive, so I think I'll be okay eventually. So OP comes in with her update and says, "Hello everyone. This will be a short-term update, but quite a lot has happened in just one day. On mobile, so format can get a little weird. Some people may have seen this in the comments of the original post, but my mum kicked me out of the house. I think it's easier to write what I did after in bullet points, so here it goes. I woke up and immediately my aunt was very upset because my mum notified both of us that I'm not welcome anymore in the house. We drove to my house and my mum tossed me a small bag with not even half my clothes and the cash that I gave her for the air conditioning unit and told me that I have zero forgiveness for what I did. Seeing how devastated I was all day, my aunt convinced me at around 4 PM to try and contact my previous therapist and book an emergency appointment. After talking to him, I realized that being apart is the best thing for my mental health, and with him and Reddit's opinion, I realized how toxic my mum can get. I realized that the good times were those in which I was obedient and contributed financially, even if I wasn't 100% sure I wanted to be. I'm currently living with my uncle and his family. They all tell me I can stay however long I need to, but I'm really going to look to be a roommate with someone, since it's really crowded here and don't want to be a burden. With all of this, I realized that the way I'd been living with my mother is not normal. The way she is punishing me is not normal. I cannot put her well-being before mine anymore. Small context. My father was all kinds of abusive with her, and we had to flee. So now with this, she is saying I'm doing exactly what my father did to her. And I know deep down that is not true. That she just wants to fight and hurt me, and I'm done giving her the reaction she wants. I'm not a fighter, never been and never will be. I'm so heartbroken that I had to leave the nest this way. But this is my reality now. I'm a hard-working woman, and I know I will be okay. I've told all my family there's nothing I want more than to mend my relationship with my mother. I'll always love her so much, but I cannot go back to the dynamic we had before, and I'll have to love her from a distance. She had a lot of trauma that she's projecting on me, that she has to heal, but I cannot be a part of that journey. Now I'm focused on getting the ball rolling to go study my masters in a country across the world. I've been working on this since the beginning of the year. So I'm hopeful that from now on, I have to go, there's enough time for us to patch things up. I have no anger left in me towards my mother and truly wish that she finds peace sooner than later because I believe she can be a better version than this version fueled by anger. P.S. In regards with the lease, our landlord is a friend of ours and I know that I understand the situation. I try to convince him to keep renting the house in my mother's name at a price that she can pay. But if he doesn't, then she'll have to figure things out alone. This is the very last favor I'll do for her. I'm sorry if this is all over the place. My uncle and his wife tell me that they have never seen me be so determined. Truth is, I've always been this way, just not with my mother around. Lastly, thank you to all that commented. It's weird how Reddit can call out these behaviors so fast, and I, that lived with them all my life, couldn't. Truly, thank you to everyone that gave me some good validation, and since r/relationships and Am I the Arsehole can be a little intense, thank you to Mark for making this amazing, kind, and understanding community. Love and hugs from a stronger woman. And you only updated recently, so there was only one comment on there. So it started off with Patch End, who said, "Stay strong, baby. I'm a woman that has been no contact with my mother dearest for many years, and it is wonderful." I'm not even kidding. Not having to deal with my mom, who's very much like yours, has been amazing. Stay strong when she reaches back out. Make sure you pay attention to her manipulation tactics also. You've got this. You've been through a lot and are doing a wonderful job. Keep being a badass. I commented on the post myself as well, which just said, "Mate, proud of you." Reddit, me, and everyone else can call out these behaviors fast because we're reading a very compact and small portion of your life. In this post, we've seen how your mum is treating you and it's not right. It's easy to see the behavior looking in like this, but when you're living it, grown up with it, and had it normalized day to day, it's a different story and one that does take outside perspectives to give you a little bit of clarity. I love my mum, but having read a lot of these stories and learning about different behaviors, I can see some things that I've glossed over myself that I believe myself were not acceptable. Did she learn these behaviors from her past, like past trauma or her parents? Quite possibly, but it's up to us to break that cycle. Well done for you for getting yourself out there, and I hope you thrive. Much love. And I really hope OP does thrive. like I said, I think it's always very easy. Like when I say these comments from being on the outside, reading into someone's life, it's very easy to say these things for me, but doing it, living it, not just this as well, but you're living your day-to-day lives as well. You've still got your jobs to go to. You've still got other relationships that you're dealing with in the middle of all this. You know, everything takes its toll on you. You've still got a list of chores that you need to do whilst dealing with this bullshit at the same time. And everything can be very overwhelming. But anyway, I've talked enough bullshit for today. Thank you so much, OP, for sharing your story. I really do appreciate you. And like I said, I hope you do thrive. You really deserve it. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What would you say to OP in this situation? Listening to and reading these stories yourselves, has it ever changed any of your family dynamics? Has it ever made you think something is not acceptable like that? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'll be really interested to read them. Thank you so much for being here today, for getting involved in the stories. Your love, your support, your time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much, truly. And I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.